Good morning, guys. Happy Friday. We are going to do a science experiment today, and it is called walking water. It's a rainbow experiment, and my love for rainbows is huge, ginormous, absolutely incredible. I love rainbows. You know who else used to love rainbows and probably still does? Felicity. So I might send this experiment to her as well, since she loves rainbows so much and we love her. Okay, so what we need for this experiment, the materials we need will be paper towel. We need 3 different colors of food coloring, specifically red, yellow, and blue. And then you also just need water right from your sink. Now my water is in this gigantic, ginormous, huge, all great synonyms, measuring cup / mixing bowl. I think my kids usually make pancake batter in there, and that's why it's so big. But we're going to use it to distribute the water into these cups. So you'll need 5 cups as well. Okay, 5 total cups. And this is a good size. You can see it's just the size of my finger, that size cup. I think other size cups will work just fine, but these are the cups that I purchased, that I bought, all right? So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna distribute the water. And distribute means just to give out, or give a little bit to each one. So I'm gonna pour some water in my first cup, and I'm gonna pour it, 3/4 of the way up, so a little more than half. Then I'm going to skip a cup, so do not pour water in all of the cups. We're going to alternate cups. So fill, empty, fill, empty, fill. Okay, so here I go. I've got 1 full, then I skip one, it's going to be empty, and then I fill the next, skip, fill. So that's like an alternating pattern. Alternate. It means to skip a step, basically. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit more to my first cup. All right, so as you can see, full, empty, full, empty, full. Now, the next part is adding the food coloring to the cups. So you're going to actually just add 1 color to one of the cups that has water. So I'm going to go ahead and take the top off this. Hopefully I don't end up being stained today, because I'm, like I said, trying to do this on my own since Laura's gone and Danny's sleeping. So I'm going to add a few drops of red food coloring, and that was quite a bit of red actually, because it doesn't have a little squeeze top on it. And even though it seems to be mixing and blending just fine on its own, I actually just took a spoon out, and I'm gonna go ahead and stir it a little bit, okay? So next I'm going to choose the yellow. So here's my yellow. Take the top off. I'm sorry, I should have taken the tops off before. I'm gonna add yellow, a few drops, maybe like, 4. Does that sound good? 4 sounds good to me. And then I'll give it a little stir. Oh, that looks bright and beautiful. And then in my last cup, we will put in the blue food coloring. And clearly, it's the best color of all time, in my opinion, as you know. And we're gonna go ahead and add 3 or 4 drops of blue. Look how cool that looks before we even stir it and blend the water and the food coloring together. Resembles the ocean, doesn't it? It's absolutely beautiful. Okay, so we've got that part done. Now, the next part is you're gonna take a paper towel sheet. Now, these paper towels that I purchased here, they actually, I'm gonna rip one off and show you, come in these nice, like you can rip it off and it actually comes in this nice rectangle, which is perfect for this experiment. So I'm gonna see if I can put my phone this way, and all I'm gonna do is put it lengthwise, so horizontal, side to side, so not vertical, but horizontal. I guess you could do it either way, it doesn't really matter. And then I'm gonna fold it in half. This is tricky to do on my own for sure. and close, right? And then I'm gonna fold it in half again. Not bad. It's hard to do this on my own. I don't have my stand. And then once I have it looking like a very long and thin rectangle, I'm actually gonna fold that in half. So it's going to look like this. Almost would stand up if it had enough structure to it. So let me see if I can get that to work. All right, guys, so I folded the paper towels, and remember, we're folding them the long way, lengthwise, okay, horizontally, and then we're making that nice tight crease. If you remember, when we've been folding our papers at school, we get that crease. That's that line, which means we've kind of pinched it nice and tight, okay? And then, like I said, I want you to fold it in half again. Almost like so it forms a little TP, upside down V. But this is a little long, so you're gonna wanna snip it just a little bit. So basically, when you hold it next to the cup, you'll see it's just a little too tall. So you want it to be just a little bit taller than the cup itself. It doesn't have to be exact. So just snip a little bit off, okay? Then what you're gonna do, so I actually have 4 pieces of paper towel, okay? And what you want to do is put one end into a cup with dye and then the other end into the empty cup. Remember, the cups are alternating. Full, empty, full, empty, full. Okay? So you'll take your second paper towel, you'll put one into the empty cup, one side into the empty cup, one end into the liquid, and then you'll get your next, one end into the liquid, one end into the empty cup, and then you'll put your fourth paper towel in, one end into the empty cup, and then the next end into the liquid. And you can see right away, as soon as you put them into the liquid, that the color's already starting to be absorbed into the paper towel. The blue is really vibrant, it's really bright. You can see right away the paper towel is picking up the colored water, absorbing it. And you guys should remember, we use the word absorb quite a bit during science, during the school year, and it's been one of our Jeopardy vocabulary words. So if you don't remember or haven't been remembering what it is, this is a good time to really think about what absorb means. And I think I might have already mentioned it, but if you had a spill at your house, what would you use to clean it up? Usually you would use a napkin or a paper towel because it's so absorbent, right? So let's see what happens. It's gonna take some time, so we'll check back in a little while and see what's happening. But I want you to take this time to think about yourself, make some predictions. What do you think will happen? What do you think will happen to the blue, the yellow, the red cups, if anything? What do you think will happen to the empty cups, if anything? And what do you think will actually happen to the paper towels, if anything? So go ahead and make your predictions, and we'll check back in and see what's going on. All right, my friends, what did you think of the walking rainbow experiment? Now, I know the indigo and violet colors of the rainbow were not part of this experiment, so it wasn't a true rainbow. But if you try it at home, you could always add another 2 cups. So you would have one more empty cup, and then the last cup would have water in it, and you would add a purple food coloring. And then you'd also have to add another piece of paper towel. So if you wanted to do that, you certainly could. Now, just so you realize, the changes that occurred or happened in this experiment happened over the course of 9 hours on Thursday. So I'm doing this experiment on Thursday, but sharing it with you guys on Friday. So I started at 9 o'clock a.m. on Thursday, meaning 9 o'clock in the morning, and I took the final pictures at 6 o'clock p.m., so right before I ate dinner. Laura helped me by using a special feature on my iPad, and it's able to accelerate or speed up the video so you didn't have to watch for all 9 hours. Now, I know my videos are long, but I would never make you sit for that long. All right, now that you see the final results, your homework is to write down the changes you observed from the beginning of the experiment, during the middle of the experiment, and what you observed at the very end of this experiment. Document or write down as many as you can, even the slightest change, even if you think it was something so small or insignificant. Write it down. Any changes I want you to put down on your paper. Also write or just be ready to discuss how you think these changes happened and why. We'll talk more about it on Monday during our Zoom meeting. If you're able to, try the experiment at home. But of course, make sure it's okay with your grown-up and you have someone to help you. Just be aware that the food coloring can and will stain your clothes and your skin. So be very, very careful when you handle these, okay? But again, make sure you have your grown-up's permission to try this experiment at home. All right, have fun. I hope you love this experiment as much as I did, and I can't wait to talk to you about it on Monday. Have a great weekend, guys. Love you. Bye.